Hello, it's Alex, the Bookubus. Today I'm going to be talking about the films I want to watch for Old School April. I recently shared a video about my TBR, the books I want to read for Old School April, so please do go check that out if you haven't seen it already. I will leave all of the relevant Old School April links in the description below. Please do go check out Kelsi's videos. There are tons of links and useful information there regarding all things Old School April, and I will also link all of the co-hosts below. Please do go check them out because they're all awesome. And I wanted to make a mention of the fact that Kelsi has a second YouTube channel that she started recently. It's called Nightmares and Nostalgia, and she's using that to focus on videos about movies versus her Slime and Slashes account, which is about books. So yeah, please do go subscribe to her new channel as well. And yeah, like I said, all the links are below. And also I did mention in my TBR video that I'm not officially co-hosting Old School April this year, but I am definitely joining in and I'm very much looking forward to it. So anyway, let's get on with this list of things I want to watch. I had decided when I was putting this list together that I was going to keep it fairly brief and just have like maybe 10 films that I was definitely going to get to, but then it turned into like 20. So yeah, I probably won't get to all of these, but I shall certainly try, and at least I'll have a lot of good things to choose from throughout the month. So I've put these in chronological order of release date. Most of these are horror films, but there's some other things thrown into the mix too, and yeah, most of these are from the 1980s or 90s, but a couple of things outside of that. So starting off with the oldest film, which is actually all the way from 1954. This is The Bells of St. Trinian's. Now, I don't know if anyone outside of the UK is aware of St. Trinian's, maybe the remake that came out a bunch of years ago, but back in the 50s and 60s, there were a handful of St. Trinian's films, and it's about this school for girls, and they're all like running riot and shenanigans are happening left, right and centre. So I remember growing up watching these films, and I haven't seen any of them for years, but The Bells of St. Trinian's was the first one. So I thought it would be fun to revisit that. Okay, next up from 1981 is The Funhouse. This is a carnival set slasher film. It's one I've been meaning to see for ages but haven't, so I should try and get to that. From 1982 is Basket Case, the classic Hen and Lotte film. I have seen this before, but not for years, and I've never seen the sequels either. There are 2 sequels, so all 3 films are on my watch list for April. From 1984 is The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the 8th Dimension, another one I've been meaning to see for ages. Yeah, it sounds like a fun kind of sci-fi adventure thing, which yeah, hopefully will be a good time. Next up from 1986 is Howard the Duck, classic. Never seen it. How have I not seen that? I need to see that. From 1989 is Do the Right Thing, the classic Spike Lee film, which I've never seen and need to, so that's on the list. Also from 1989, Warlock, which sounds like a really fun kind of horror fantasy thing with Julian Sands, R.I.P., so I want to check that out, along with the 2 sequels for that as well, The Armageddon and The End of Innocence. From 1990 is Nightbreed, which I have seen years ago, but I really want to revisit it. And I'm assuming the version I saw back in the 90s wasn't the director's cut, so I do want to see the director's cut. But yeah, I remember really enjoying that. Also, it stars David Cronenberg, and we know how much I love him, so excited for that. Night Killer from 1990, which is an Italian horror film, looks like a ton of fun. From 1993 is Freaked, which yeah, sounds like a bonkers kind of freak show thing. It's got Alex Winter in it, and I've had this on my Old School April watch list for at least a couple of years and never got to it, so I must make a point of watching it this time around. The Dark Half from 1993. I have the book by Stephen King on my TBR for Old School April, so once I've read the book, I'd really like to check out the film. And it was directed by George A. Romero and filmed at least partially in the Pittsburgh area, so that'll be cool to see. Okay, moving into the 2000s. From 2002, we've got Swim Fan, which was, from what I remember, because I did see this back in the day, I had a big crush on the main guy in it, who was also in Bring It On. I loved him in Bring It On, so I likely rented this because of him. But I think this is kind of like Fatal Attraction, but with teenagers. And I found it on DVD in a thrift store recently and grabbed it. So I was like, yes, that is going on the Old School April watch list. Okay, next up from 2004 is Shaun of the Dead, which I haven't seen in years. I saw it when it came out and enjoyed it. But yeah, it's been forever. So I feel like it would be cool to revisit that. Then we've got a documentary on here. This is about the band L7. The documentary came out in 2017 and I've had it on my to-be watch list for like probably a good few years and just haven't got around to it, but I figured Old School April seemed like a good time to finally check it out. I never really got into L7, but I definitely do like some of their music. And I think my introduction to them was the song Shitlist, which was on the Natural Born Killers soundtrack. What a badass song. Yeah, so it would be interesting to hear a bit more about them as a band because I really don't know much about them. Okay, and then next up are a few TV shows. One of them is just one episode in particular. It is an episode called Faith Healer on the Friday the 13th series. I haven't seen any of the series. But this one, guess what? It was directed by David Cronenberg. So obviously I need to see it because I've never seen that before. Okay, TV shows. Spaced, which was a British comedy from like the late 90s, early 2000s. It just recently came up in conversation at work and none of my US co-workers had heard about it. Once I'd mentioned it, I was like, now I need to rewatch the whole thing because there are only 2 seasons and they're really short. So I might try and revisit Spaced because it's so much fun. I quote it all the time years later. Yeah, it's good stuff. And then last up on the list is Andor season 2. I'm not a big Star Wars person. Like, I've enjoyed the films, but I wouldn't call myself like a fan. But my husband had watched Andor season 1 when it first came out and he absolutely loved it. And then hearing that season 2 was coming out, he really wanted to rewatch season 1. So at the time of filming, I'm watching it for the first time, he's rewatching it, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. So hopefully I will enjoy the whole season, and then when season 2 starts, we will get into that. But I believe that starts sometime later on in April, but yeah, hopefully some of it I will be watching technically for Old School April. Sorry, I've just realised now the sun has finally come out. I had to adjust my camera settings because it was really dark and gloomy in here and I've only just realised, so now I'm really blown out. Anyway, let me go adjust that. Okay, that's slightly better I think, but yeah, it'll be sod's law that now the sun will go away and it will become too dark in here. Anyway, we're almost at the end of the video, so it really doesn't matter too much. But yeah, that was just a quick rundown, rapid fire rundown of the films and TV shows that I am hoping to watch for Old School April. I probably won't get to all of these during the month, but I will certainly do my best. And yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever I actually get to because I'm excited about everything on my watch list. Yeah, it's a good mix of things and also, yeah, some stuff that I've seen before and some stuff that will be new to me. So yeah, do let me know if there's anything on here that you think I should prioritise. Do let me know if you're joining in with Old School April. Let me know what team you're on. Are you on Candyman Crew? As you should be, because we're going to be the best team, obviously. But yeah, looking forward to Old School April shenanigans. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!